Just reading more of this short story from this book. We met up every week and gathered notes in between times, working out our own routes, competing to be the one who'd managed the longest during the week. You had to call a route in advance for it to work best, the others told me. And you had to have an intention. You couldn't just call at the end when you hit a snag. Daytime was more challenging. Daytime runs won you more points in our unspoken competition. But you got the same amount of power, luck, rightness, whatever you cared to call it, either way. So the longer the run, the better it was to do it at night. Night meant longer light timings, less traffic to get in the way, and fewer suicidal pedestrians. Sunday evenings were the best. Weekdays a close second. Fridays and Saturdays, the streets were always full of wankers and idiots, drunk or showing off or both. We took turns leading on a Sunday evening. It seemed to me like the four of us together made it more than riding alone. You know, Ellen said once, I've been wondering if we shouldn't do something with it. Speak for yourself, Kara said. I do stuff with it. I filled my prescription last Monday. First time they've ever got it right. First time without faffing around. Ellen said, but something more, bigger. We didn't pursue it further, not then. The week things changed, Flora turned up late and miserable. The squat's being evicted tomorrow, she said. The center? Kara asked. Where I ran that gender group? Where I did that bike mechanic thing? Ellen asked at the same time. Flora nodded. Ah, shit. Fuck 'em. No chance of a reprieve? Flora shrugged. We'll rally tomorrow, try and see the bailiffs off, but we all knew how squat evictions went. We are about to go to court, and Dolly reckons we've got a good chance. But if they get us out before that... And just like that, I got the idea. A ride tonight, I said, slowly, trying to think it through. Is there any way we could somehow pass it on? What happens? The others stared at me. I have literally no idea, Ellen said. I've only ever used it for myself. Kara's eyes were wide. I did once, for a friend who was waiting to hear about his gender recognition certificate. Rode to where I was meeting him, hugged him as my feet touched the ground. He had such a go at me for riding into him because I didn't dare explain, but... Did it work? Flora asked urgently. Kara shrugged. It didn't feel like I got anything myself, and he got his GRC, so maybe? We all looked at one another. Well, Ellen said, finally, it's worth a go, right? We never usually planned our routes, not on paper. But this one felt like we had to think it out in advance. We needed something big, surely, to get enough of an impact. And all the routes we knew individually didn't seem like they'd be enough. We had to do something else, pull the pieces of the city together. Huddled around the pub table trying to work out how to do it, we realized fairly quickly that tiny maps on phone screens weren't going to cut it. Kara went to the services station up the road and got an A to Z and a bureau. Old school. We marked out all the routes we knew between us around the squat and realized that we could link them up and create a loop, starting and finishing at the squat. Circles, Kara said. Circles have to be stronger, right? The bell rang for time at the bar. 10:30. The Oak kept traditional Sunday hours. Normally, we weren't in much of a hurry to leave, but tonight... Right then, Ellen said, standing up. Let's go. I didn't want the responsibility of leading. None of us did. We all stood there outside the squat once we got there, for a moment, looking at one another. Holding our bikes, the tension in the air, but not going anywhere. Take turns, Kara said, her chin going up slightly. That's the fairest way, right? She turned to Flora. You should finish. The last section. You're the one most linked to the squat. The trouble was, all of this was sympathetic magic, was us making it up as we went along, going only by what we thought made sense and by what had happened before and by the pricking of our thumbs. It might make no difference at all if we did it this way. It might make no difference at all if we did it at all. Sure, Kara said she'd been able to transfer the whatever it is whatever it was, the power, the luck, whatever, but that was to a person and not to an institution. And she wasn't even really sure it had happened. We had to try, though, right? I'll start, I said abruptly, wanting suddenly to be doing something, moving things along. I know that bit of the route best. It was true, even. I'll take second, Kara said. Ellen, you okay with third? I clipped my foot into my pedal, then pulled it up to set the pedal properly and squared my shoulders. The lights on the main road were red, and I glanced at the others to make sure they were all ready. The lights went red and amber. Okay, that's where we're going to stop today. I'll see you next time. Riding for luck. Have a wonderful afternoon, and thanks for tuning in.